right, week five's recap. The contenders separate. Let's go ahead and get started. Welcome back to another DNS address. Week five is in the books. The bye weeks have started. Conference races are beginning to take shape. The Heisman race is heating up. And ladies and gentlemen, we're no longer asking who's rebuilding. We are asking who's actually capable of winning this thing. Because after 5 weeks, some teams are rising, some teams are surviving, and a few, well, they're just going to spend their bye week watching a lot of film. Let's get into it. Our headline of the week, Georgia Southern takes another statement. At this point, do we stop calling Georgia Southern a Cinderella story? Because the football team just marched into Coastal Carolina and won 52-7. That wasn't close. It wasn't competitive. It was domination. Max Johnson only needed 14 passes, completed 11 of them for 3 touchdowns. DM rushed for 136. Terrence Gibbs added another 96 and a touchdown. Tyler Bradshaw caught 2 touchdowns. Brandon Tyson once again reminded everybody why he's the best linebacker in this dynasty with 12 tackles. Coach Bennett has this team winning exactly how he promised back in episode 1. Physical, disciplined, built from the trenches out, Georgia Southern improves 5-0. Miami silenced Clemson. Last week they scored 101. This week they reality returned, sort of. The Hurricanes traveled to Death Valley, knocked off Clemson 40-21. Now the stat line wasn't perfect. Mawson threw for 3 interceptions, had a fumble. Normally the recipe for disaster. Instead, Miami leaned on Mark Fletcher Jr., 21 carries, 157 yards, 2 touchdowns. Cam Vaughn added 135 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. The defense stepped up big. Bryce Fitzgerald had a 78-yard pick six, changing the momentum. Miami improves the 4-1, and suddenly the Hurricanes have gone from panic mode after Wake Forest to looking like the legitimate championship contenders they are. The Bulls stay perfect. South Florida stays undefeated. The Bulls improved to 5-0 after defeating Temple 45-31. MVB and Luke combined for 300 yards passing. DJ Crowther, 185 rushing, 2 touchdowns. Kenny Odom, just another casual day at the office. 11 catches, 163 yards, 3 touchdowns. Coach Matt, you might have the most balanced offense in the entire league. The Bulls continue doing exactly what championships do. Win, move on, repeat. The Monarchs knock off another undefeated quietly, very quietly. Old Dominion's putting together one heck of a season. The Monarchs travel to the undefeated Georgia State, left with a 35-18 victory. Coach Crow, you're officially entered the contenders conversation. Malachi James rushed for 100 yards. 3 different running backs found the end zone. Leo added another touchdown reception. Mario Easterly led another solid defensive effort. Old Dominion now sits at 4-1. Nobody's talking about them enough. Maybe they like it that way. The stock that's going up, Miami back-to-back statement wins 101 points, then beating Clemson on the road. The Hurricanes are rolling. Georgia Southern, another ranked level performance, another dominant victory, still undefeated. South Florida, 5 weeks, 5 wins, still one of the cleanest football teams in the dynasty. Old Dominion quietly becoming one of the biggest threats in the league. The Need More Film of the Week, Central Michigan. Coach, absolute buddy. It's been a rough 2 weeks. After allowing 101 last week, the Chippewas return home only to lose to Akron 52-21. Marcus Beeman threw for nearly 400 yards. That's impressive. The problem, 4 interceptions and a fumble. That's 5 turnovers. The offense is moving the ball, but it has to stop giving it away. The advice, protect the football because no defense can survive 5 giveaways. Texas State coach Illa, the Bobcats had 2 straight. Momentum was building. Then San Diego State remembered interceptions count for 6 points. Brad Jackson threw for 4. 2 of them returned for touchdowns. That's a 14-point swing before your defense even gets back on the field. Flush it, forget it, take the bye, move forward. Arkansas State, another frustrating Saturday. The Red Wolves fell 38-17 at Louisiana. Coach Shada, the talent's obvious. Nana Burris continues making play. Kenyon Clay continues running hard, and this team has to start stacking complete football games. The pieces are there, now put the puzzle together. Mississippi State, Alabama came to town. Alabama did Alabama things. The Bulldogs lose 35-21. Fluff, Bothwell, 156 rushing yards. Again, at this point, he's putting together one of the best individual rushing seasons in the league. Somebody else, anybody else, has to take the pressure off him. Week 5 awards, our Offensive Player of the Week goes to DJ Crowther for South Florida. 185 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Temple knew exactly what was coming, still couldn't stop it. Our Defensive Player of the Week goes to Bryce Fitzgerald from Miami with a 78-yard pick six. Huge momentum swing, helped seal a massive road win over Clemson. Our Built Not Given award this week belongs to Old Dominion. Walked into an undefeated Georgia State and winning by 17? That's how you announce yourself. The Monarchs are officially in the hunt. Our Heisman Watch, we're officially introducing our weekly Heisman Watch, and right now Miami owns the conversation. Malachi Toney, after a 7-touchdown explosion last week, he remains at the top. He had a very quiet week this week. Mark Fletcher Jr. had 157 yards rushing against Clemson. Continues one of the most complete seasons in the nation. If Miami keeps winning, do they split the votes or does one pull away? We'll find out. The DNS Power Picture, 5 weeks in. 2 undefeated teams remain. Georgia Southern, South Florida. 1-loss teams, Miami, Old Dominion, Troy. These teams are chasing. Then you've got Georgia Tech, Texas State, Central Michigan trying to stay alive before conference play takes over. The standings are starting to matter. Every loss hurts a little more now. Our Week 6 preview, our game of the week this week is South Florida at UTSA. This week's spotlight belongs to South Florida. The Bulls are 5-0. UTSA is never an easy road trip. Can Coach Matt keep the perfect season alive, or do the Roadrunners hand the Bulls their first loss? Other news from around the league, Georgia Southern hosts James Madison looking to go to 6-0. Miami gets a well-earned bye after 2 huge statement wins. Old Dominion travels to Appalachian State in another tough road test. Central Michigan heads to Ohio looking to stop the bleeding. Northern Illinois returns from the bye week against Air Force searching for win number 1. Troy returns from the bye week against Southern Miss. Georgia Tech welcomes Duke after back-to-back explosive offensive performances. Sacramento State travels to Bowling Green, hoping to build on its momentum. Arkansas State hosts South Alabama, looking to get the season back on track. Texas State and Mississippi State both enjoy bye weeks this week. The commissioner picks. Georgia Southern stays undefeated. South Florida survives a close one. Old Dominion wins on the road. Georgia Tech keeps rolling. Troy refreshes with the victory. Northern Illinois finally gets in the win column. This is the week. Sacramento State continues building momentum. Arkansas State gets back on track at home. We're 5 weeks in. Everybody had hope. Now some teams have belief. Others have urgency. The championship race is starting to take shape. The Heisman race has officially arrived. And every single week, the pressure gets a little bit heavier. Recruit hard, protect the football, win the turnover battles, and remember, every championship season is built 1 week at a time because in the Department of Natural Selection, only the strongest survive. Built, not given.